Hey everybody, welcome back to the best podcast ever, and we are joined by myself, Jack, and new special guest, Will.
Hey,
Hey,
emphasis on
how's
the
it going?
special.
Yeah, it's not special. So Will,
Ouch.
me and Jack have
I am a
contracts.
snowflake.
So we all
Yeah.
have contracts, and if you look at yours, you're actually paying us to be on this podcast. This is how we make the money for the podcast now.
Ah. Do we also have to subscribe and create multiple users to create
Yes.
a bigger fan base?
Yes, you need to be a complete corporate shill for us.
Cool.
Because, let's be real, we have so far alienated Australians, weeaboos, Europeans, women, men, and several species of dog.
Yeah,
Well-
at least a couple of species of dog.
Well, look at all those groups. Like, how actually important are they? It's pretty minor.
How important is the entire world population, really? Will, already shilling for our alien viewers. And if you're from the planet Gorbon, thank you for tuning in.
You'll get this broadcast in roughly 30 years when the radio waves reach your planet.
Yes, because we're obviously recording this through radio.
Hey, we're original. We are the most hipster podcast.
Yeah, we actually record it on our local ham radio, and then through those radio waves we send out, we capture them, artisanally bottle them, and then put them on the internet just for you.
And it like, legally has to be an IPA as well.
Oh,
Yes.
and gluten-free.
Yes,
With-
gluten-free, no GMOs.
Perfect.
Um,
I've heard they cause cancer. I think that's
Yeah.
back in science.
it's also locally grown. We locally grow our own ham for the ham radios.
Also,
Oh, it's also vegan.
Yeah, also halal and kosher.
Yeah, it's vegan
Perfect.
ham.
And the packaging is always recyclable.
Yeah, it's actually made from cow shit. So, I have this notepad my grandma got me for Christmas. It's made from cow shit.
Fun.
Yeah,
I've-
it's like
I've had-
recycled like grass, and they make paper out of the grass that the cows shit out or what. I don't even know. It's the weirdest thing. There's like weird fibery bits in the paper, and it's weird. But
And,
like,
like,
I assume it's
occasion-
sanitary. I wouldn't put it in my mouth, but
And occasionally you just see a piece of corn in the blanket and you're like, how did that get there?
But for real though, there's like some weird like hay fibery bits you can see in there, and you're like,
Like, it'd be one thing to have something made out of cow shit. You'd think the least it could do is not remind you that it is in fact made out of cow shit.
yeah, it's a
That's-
little bit of a problem.
It's like if I'm gonna bake chicken, like I don't need chicken-shaped strips of chicken to remind me that I am eating a bird.
That is why you go to McDonald's. You get the boot. You get the what other shapes do they have? Oh fuck, they have like the boot. They have the nugget. What shit?
I don't think I've eaten at a McDonald's in like half a decade.
Same.
I'm
Like,
not gonna lie.
I got their chicken nuggets once, and it was awful. It was like 80% breading.
So, from the last time, I think the greasiest food I ate was when I was hanging out with Will last weekend. We ended up getting Pizza Hut, and the grease destroyed my stomach.
Yeah, I'm
was
not
awful.
surprised by that. Also, thank you for tuning in. If you're just tuning in for the best podcast ever, we are sponsored by McDonald's and Pizza Hut.
Oh, and Rolling Rock. Don't worry.
It's beer.
it legally qualifies for beer.
Hey, it's cheap.
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, that last weekend was we met up to go to AGDQ, and I don't think I told you this story, right, Jake?
No, you haven't.
Okay, I've been saving this story for the podcast.
Oh no.
So we go there, we meet up, right? It's me, my girlfriend, and it's Will. We go in. It smells as bad as you'd imagine.
Yeah.
And everybody is dressed and looks exactly like you'd imagine.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, I'm mostly in this to hang out with friends and see some cool shit and yell dumb memes.
Mhm.
But, we try and walk in, security guy stops us, and it's like, you need to get a badge. We're like, all right, let's go do that. So we go up and we're like, can we get in? And they're like, all right, give us your ID. And then, like, after they're looking at our IDs for like 10 minutes, they're like, did you pre-register? And we're like, pre-register? And they're like, yeah, you had to have registered like 4 fucking months ago to show up.
Really?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
if you go on the website, they mention pre-registering, but they never say you have to do it to show up.
Oh, God.
They just say free, and then there's no mention of it at all.
It's
like,
so
it-
dumb.
If you go to the attending AGDQ page, it will say absolutely nothing about needing a badge to attend. So I'm a little salty.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
God, that just seems so weird because, like, I don't even know, but, like, ugh.
Like, I understand partially, but, like, Will can attest, we were there on the final day, and it's not like it was shoulder to shoulder.
No, it was there was a good room. Like, I didn't remember it smelling that bad though. Like, I've been to one con, and I only smelled con funk, I think is the term, twice. It was awful, and I've never smelled anything like it.
I'm exaggerating a little. There was a couple of whiffs, but yeah, it wasn't the worst. I am mostly exaggerating for comedic effect and because I'm salty.
Yeah. No,
But yeah, it could have been cool for a convention held in this like random room offshoot of a hotel across from a very weird like industrial business area.
Yeah, like the thing is, it's always been like held at like weird like hotel like ballrooms or whatever.
Yeah,
It's not like
that's
it's
where
a
it was.
giant ass
hotel
event,
ballroom.
which is the weirdest thing because like
Yeah,
fucking
there was
why?
maybe 200 or 300 people there at most, and I mean I'm not great at estimating, but that's roughly what I
Yeah.
guess.
That sounds about right. Didn't they raise like $2 million or something?
Yep,
Crazy
two-
like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, don't get me wrong, good for them. I'm just salty a little personally.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like one of those things like you don't expect you like need.
Oh yeah, because we checked the website
yeah.
too.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things where it's just like, hey, we got nothing better to do this weekend. Let's, go to this and, chill out, yell
Yeah.
dumb beams at people.
Exactly, that was my exact plan. Is to
'Cause
show up and yell dumb.
It's held in like Virginia, which, doesn't have a huge population, so you're not gonna have like a lot of people running in there and, memeing it up.
Yeah, Virginia's not known for its Comic-Cons or anything like that.
Well, actually,
Maybe like Maryland.
technically-
Richmond Comic Con is pretty decent.
Well, Richmond, yeah, but like it for video game stuff, it actually has a lot. Like MagFest is always held there, which is a really good. It's the music and gaming convention, which is.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I almost went.
It used to be held in a really small, like again, like what ADGQ used to do, but then they got big enough that they had to stop doing that, and now they're in National Harbor at the Gaylord.
It's a really nice hotel.
Yeah, no, it's super. Oh my god, me and my family went to the National Harbor, to spend a day there. Just chill and walk around and do that, and we had my cousins there as well. And we went to the Gaylord. It is amazing. Like, that hotel's super nice.
Don't they hold another convention there as well? It's not like
Ooh.
Bagfest or
It's
NecoCon,
entirely
but it's-
possible. There's like a shit ton of conventions just
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, they have that, but like, they have like a bunch of conventions in Virginia and things like that, but it's not like there's a huge population, that can actually travel and go there. It's not like it's being held in New York or something like that,
Sure. Oh yeah.
No, Northern Virginia's pretty dense though. Like,
Oh,
there's a
it's
lot of
dense,
people
but it's
around.
not going to have like a lot of, people going to like a gaming thing. You know, it's not like a bunch of
yeah.
people are just going to show up for, you know, watching a bunch of sweaty nerds play video games for charity.
It's a lot of young business professionals more so.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
if you're not
not
working
gonna
for the
lie.
government, you can't afford to live here.
Also, you know, driving anywhere is the worst.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not as bad as like New York or like LA. I've heard LA is.
Oh,
LA
yeah.
seems like the place that would give me road rage in 2 seconds.
I have heard stories of bumper to bumper traffic going 80 miles an hour.
Ugh.
Oh god,
Which
that
would
sounds
just-
awful.
Nope. But yeah, video games, huh? How about
Oh,
that?
yeah.
How about them video games that we talk about? But
Oh, hey, let's make a great segue into fun new technology.
oh boy, what's a fun new technology?
I've heard they have like Nintendo has a new thing. It's like for messing with lights, makes them brighter or darker. I don't remember.
Implying Nintendo does new technology and not last generation's technology. But yeah, in all seriousness, they did announce the Switch, which it seems to me like it's the same old Nintendo trick of there's going to be 3 games you're going to put 1 million hours into, and you're going to buy nothing else for it.
But see, that's where you're wrong, because there's at least 4 games I want.
So there's Zelda, which I mean
Zelda.
I can get on the
Launch
Wii U.
title.
Yeah.
Mario.
This new Mario looks fucking. All right.
Yeah, that Mario game looks amazing.
It looks really good, but you know what my first thought in the
Why
first
is
moments of
Mario
seeing
not a
it?
human?
Not just that, but this looks just like Sonic 06.
Wow, it's a good start.
No,
Like
Jack,
it looks exactly
Jack,
like it.
I was talking to Cortland,
Yeah.
and he was just like, I can't wait for Mario to make out with a real human.
Exactly. It looks just like it with that kind of cartoony Mario next to the real people.
Yeah, it's a little off-putting.
But I
yeah.
think I trust Nintendo. It looks like the kind of return to the classic 3D Mario, and I have always absolutely adored those games.
Yeah, they put it in their infographic that it's in the same vein of Mario 64 and Super
Oh.
Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
That's great. Those games are awesome.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. And Breath of the Wild looks just my god, it looks
Beautiful.
so good.
Yeah,
It looks like so much fun. I like so many people have a sweet spot for, you know, the emergent gameplay, and it looks like it has just got all kinds of that sort of thing.
Yeah, and they actually threw in voice actors. It's not fully voice acted, but like the important bits will have voice characters except for Link. Link, they've said they'll never have a voice.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sounds like
Beyond-
standard voice acting though.
Right.
Like you
Oh,
never
no,
voice
the-
act the main character.
Yeah, but the voice acting for like Zelda, like, you know, you got like a brief hint in the trailer, and it was fantastic. Like from like the 3-4 words she said, you're like, okay, that's like a AAA voice actor they hired, and you
Also-
could tell from like 3 words.
Apparently there's going to be 120 mini dungeons.
What?
Oh boy.
Like it sounds like they're making Legend of Zelda Skyrim edition, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty okay with.
Yeah, but was it? So Nintendo Switch comes out March 3rd. I almost said May. Comes out
The
March
Xbox
3rd.
One S comes out too.
Say what?
There's an Xbox One S too.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Uh,
which
I honestly don't
I'm not
really
gonna
follow.
lie, I am utterly disinterested because it's not like it's a new console. It's just a more powerful old console. Congratulations, you can run games like my desktop did 5 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Like consoles are only competing now with desktops. That's the only thing they do. Like, and they're making them super lame because it's my problem with the Xbox One is every single game no longer has local multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
absolutely.
garbage.
Well, local
The-
local multiplayer is kind of just kind of, going away now. Like it's not a big thing anymore. Like even
It's seeing a resurgence in indie PC games. You get a lot of those. I know a lot of these are cross-platform, but you got like your Nidhogg's, your what's it called, Towerfall.
Mm.
Yeah,
Those kinds of
you
games are coming back in a
yeah,
big
but
way.
they're still like few and far in between.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they are pretty niche, but oh my god, I don't know any of them that are like it's just this up and coming scene. These days we've got Ultimate Chicken Horse, which is the same vein, and
Yeah.
Duck Game.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, a scene that's, making waves, but it's not like it's a huge resurgence.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not like
It's not like
GoldenEye
Xbox.
was the multiplayer
Yeah,
game.
it's not like
yeah.
Xbox 360 era where they just had so many of them.
Yeah, like if I can play Halo or like Halo 5, which isn't bad actually. It's entertaining. But
Shouts out to cousin Brian.
yeah. If I can play Halo 5, it's gonna be like with my girlfriend or with
Oh,
a friend,
yeah.
or it's not like I
absolutely.
want to fight against people I don't know online.
Like, don't get me wrong, that's still fun, but just like like it's just so much more fun like when you kill somebody then teabag their corpse that you can turn and give them the smuggest douchiest grin possible.
Oh yeah.
And shit talking is just so much better in person. It
Yeah.
really is.
Not everyone sounds like an 11-year-old.
I mean, unless you're playing with 11-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, so local multiplayer. But so the Switch is kind of seems like they're gonna try to do something with that because you have the Joy-Con controllers where you can just break it off and you have two controllers built into one.
So
so to speak.
have
It's
you
cool,
seen the clock speeds differences for the console?
No.
What is
They
it?
measure it in megahertz.
Ooh.
What?
Which, all right, let's see. I'll have to look it up real quick to get you the exact numbers. Like,
How
I
is
had
it-
to look. I looked at the numbers for like a good 4 or 5 minutes trying to figure out. Wait, how do number conversions work? There's no way the clock speed is that low. All right.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch clock speed.
How is it different from like the Wii U, where it's like
Seven-
that was
alright.
kind of built in itself as a game system? Or
Side
did
note.
you have to have a Wii?
Let's see. When docked, the clock speeds for the system are reportedly locked at 768 megahertz.
What does that
What?
mean?
So, all right, to put that into context for you, Will, your laptop, just guessing from standard speeds, probably runs at about 1.6 gigahertz, so a little more than double that speed.
Mhm.
And desktops usually hover around
3 to 4.
3.2 gigahertz is the most common number I think I personally see.
That's what I run. I have a desktop now because I'm tired of laptops breaking.
Oh sure, there you go.
continuously.
Yeah, there you go. 3 gigahertz,
Mhm.
which is over 3 times as fast of a processor. Which don't get me wrong, I understand that's the purpose of a console is it does just these one things laser focusedly well,
Mhm.
but still.
Yeah, no, like you look at some of the other ones, they're not that high. They normally just, kind of abstract and don't tell you the clock speed because it's not very necessary. Like all of the
Yeah,
bullshit,
yeah.
like it's
That's
not
true.
necessary. And the most important thing about that we haven't talked about the Switch is Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Puyo Tetris.
So Puyo
Oh.
Puyo Tetris is coming out for Nintendo Switch. I was like,
Oh,
you
so
know,
okay, so Cortland is already buying it then. The decision
No.
has been made.
No, I mean he already has it, so like, why does he need it in English? But
Oh,
do you
what?
do you
Why do you want it in
know
English?
Cortland?
yeah,
Have you met him before?
yes.
He will absolutely spend $300 for a minor convenience.
I mean, he spent. I mean, he bought up my Wii U, so There's that.
Oh, true. There.
Yeah. But what was it? So the night of the announcement, I was like, all right, that's pretty good. It was a little bit more expensive than I thought it was going to be. I was thinking maybe it's be around like $250.
Really, I thought 300 was very reasonable.
No, it's very reasonable. Don't get me wrong. Like that's a normal, like very standard entry price for a console, I think. And I think that's a very good price. But I was thinking it was going to be cheaper because of, the rumors and the conversion from, they said it was going to be like £200 for the UK customers. So I was like, all right, that's probably going to be like $250
Yeah, it's like
for us.
$250 then.
Yeah, but it's really more like 300, and those numbers were off.
Do they make multiple levels where it's like you have the Xbox and the PS4 that have different levels of storage and stuff?
No,
Is it just one
right
flat?
now there's no differentiation between those. But as of right now, back to the story, I guess, is I was looking, I was like, all right, this seems, really cool. I can get down with, this. The games look good. Oh, that Mario game looks really cool. Oh, cool. They're making like a new Bomberman game, like since the fucking Nintendo 64. That's pretty cool.
Hold on. Excuse me. You are forgetting Bomberman Zero
Yes.
on the 360.
Exactly.
That was a good game though. Well, that was a good That was a good party game for if people weren't into gaming.
It wasn't really like a good Bomberman game though. It wasn't like the classics that I used to play.
It was a great cheap game that was like, hey, we have 6 people, like we should play a game.
Yeah. But anyways, so Bomberman okay, that looks pretty cool. And then I'm scrolling through on Tetris and I just see Puyo Puyo Tetris Nintendo Switch. And I'm like, cool. Go to bed, wake up the next day, go to GameStop. Hey, do you guys got the Nintendo Switch for pre-order? Cool, I want it. I'm not joking. That's basically how it went down. But yeah, so Puyo Puyo Tetris is one of the games I'm looking forward to a lot because I love Puyo Puyo, which is a game that seriously needs to pick up traction in the US. And then Tetris.
Oh,
my MLG Pro Tetris strats.
I think competitive puzzle games really could use a resurgence. They're so much fun.
Yeah. They really are.
Like they were huge in NES days. Let's see, Wario's Woods,
Tetris.
A lot of the people who did like the early pro fighting game players, they got their start. Like the first games they played for money were Tetris.
I mean, you can even bring back local multiplayer pretty hard with that stuff too. Like,
yeah,
that's an amazing level of fun right there.
Oh yeah, like local multiplayer is like the key reason why those games like are as fun as they are is because you can play with other people. Like, don't get me wrong, probably playing like Puyo Puyo Tetris, by myself, sitting in my room for 24 hours a day, but like that's not the point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the point is you get really drunk with your friends and scream at the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing I like about the Nintendo Switch is that the Joy-Cons that they have that automatically like go into the controller. When you buy the thing, you get 2 Joy-Con controllers because you need to control the fucking system.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Right. But, it makes the one thing, so if you're playing single player, you have that. But if you're playing multiplayer, you already kind of have 2 controllers if the game supports, the midget Joy-Con controllers.
Man, that's
kind of cool though.
Yeah, so like when Puyo Puyo Tetris comes out, I don't need to buy like another controller for people to play. I already have 2.
Yeah, and that's great for just having people over, or the purpose of Tetris.
Yeah, the only problem that the Puyo Puyo Tetris has, not Puyo Puyo Tetris, that the Nintendo Switch has, is that the Joy-Con controllers, if you buy them outside the console, are expensive as all fucking hell.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
They're like $80.
Ah.
Which, if you think about it, you're paying like $40 for a controller, which isn't terribly bad, especially when they're brand new and third parties don't exist yet. but you have to buy two of them. They don't sell like just one Joy-Con controller. They come in that two Joy-Con controllers, because two Joy-Cons make a standard controller. So if you're playing a game that needs a standard controller, let's say you want to get 4 people, that's 4 times $80. That's $320.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
crazy.
But if you're playing games that only require the Joy-Con and you have all of those, you have 8 controllers.
Ooh, but breaking news, and by breaking I mean I just saw this headline, and that the Switch is gonna have Neo Geo games.
Oh yeah, I remember reading about that. That was something I honestly kind of completely forgot about, but super hyped that you brought it up again. Oh, Neo Geo games, so that's amazing. The other thing that I think is the most important thing is Nintendo is launching their system with an M-rated game.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. Yes,
Like
Binding
what?
of Isaac Afterbirth is a...
Oh shit!
Oh,
Mhm.
Oh, we in, boys!
Yeah. Binding of Isaac Afterbirth is a launch title for the Nintendo Switch and is rated M. They
That's
kept it
awesome.
exactly the way it is, in the PC version and every other version. Because they'll never scrape it. Like, that's why Binding of Isaac Afterbirth actually just got released for the iPhone. It's,
Yes, it did.
pricey, but, I'm
How
not going to
much
pay
is
that
it?
much for it again. I think it's like $15 to be perfectly
would-
honest.
Absolutely consider that. But once again, we went over this last podcast. I'm just a ridiculously big fan
Yeah.
of Binding of Isaac. It's easily in my top 3 favorite games of all time.
that makes sense. Well, it's like Gauntlet for me. I
Yeah.
love Gauntlet. I had the N64 version. I've played a lot of, in every chance I've had going to arcades, I'll play it there. And then I also played it on the PC version that came out on Steam.
Oh man, I remember playing it in the arcades, and I loved that game. And I searched for it for years afterwards because I just couldn't remember what it was called.
Yeah, but it just says the Binding of Isaac Rebirth, so I'm not entirely sure if
It's-
you can it actually has the Afterbirth stuff.
Right, or Afterbirth Plus.
Yeah. But they have it. They didn't scrape anything from it, which is really nice. So yeah, the Nintendo Switch is getting Binding of Isaac Afterbirth plus as a launch title, which
I
is
kind of wonder.
Go ahead.
I'm kind of wondering, like with the Wii, Nintendo was pretty, I guess from what I understand, kind of far ahead on the curve. Like they took a shot and happened to make a thing that was close to what might be, or what happens in the future. If the Switch, they're kind of doing the same thing. If it'll actually become a large success and have a future, or just inspire others to improve upon it.
I think that's what the Wii U was like. It was their kind of dud system where they put it out there, and then people were like, well, we could probably do that but better maybe, because you're seeing like a lot of stuff. Microsoft is doing stuff with like Microsoft Glass for games and things like that, but I think with the Switch, just from what I have seen, a lot of people are going to be picking up this console. Now, I don't like. The thing is, Nintendo needs to hit like mainstay gamers hard. Like the thing is, the reason why the Wii was a success wasn't because it was appealing to the people who are going to play Call of Duty or anything else like that. It's because they appeal to the retirement home community so they could play bowling, right before shuffleboard.
Also, I couldn't pull any kind of exact statistics about this, but I hear a lot of people speculated that Nintendo lost a lot of that audience because the Wii U was too similarly named to the Wii.
Yes.
So a lot of people didn't realize it was a new thing.
Mm-hmm. And I hadn't come across anything like that because I'm again with the younger generation. Um,
hip to the kids.
yeah, I am hip with the kids.
Oh yeah, you interact with the freshmen who are the fresh out of high school, so you are up on all your damn Daniels.
I
I'd
know.
rather not be.
Wow,
Oh,
Jake.
they're in for a treat. I shaved my head yesterday. After
Oh,
So I was
oh
trying to
my.
grow out my hair, um,
Yeah.
and I couldn't take it. It was too long. It's getting too much. Fuck it.
I know the feeling. I mean, I'm doing the exact We have just kind of like you and me,
Switched.
Jake. We've kind of like flipped hairstyles
Yeah.
because I was in early college. I was like shaving my head, and you were growing your hair out. Then towards like the end, we both were shaving our heads, and now you're still shaving your head, and I'm growing my hair out.
Yeah. Um, what is it? It's just because I work out like 5-6 times a week, and like the
Yeah.
hair is just too much like heat on my head, and I don't like it. Plus, like
Oh,
I have
sure,
yeah.
I have really thick hair, so it gets like super greasy.
You don't want a man bun while exercising?
It's not it never got that long. Like that's the thing.
I mean, how else are you gonna go play lacrosse with the bros afterwards?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you also need to carry a gallon of water just to show them that you lift.
Yeah, I need to carry that gallon jug of water wherever I go in the gym, and then put it down, but never actually use that bench.
And take 40 minutes at the squat rack just kind of looking at it and setting weights.
Yeah. Just stare at the racks, kind of,
Stretch a
circle
little.
around it,
Yeah.
pretend like I'm going to stretch, but not really, and then just leave. Like, don't put the weights back and just leave. And you're like, is he done with that?
I get to work out like 3 or 4 times a week. And every time I go to the gym, I'll always see someone who's just massive up top, like biceps as large as my head, and then just the most intense, like chicken legs I've ever seen. It's hilarious
Yeah.
just to see that incredible change.
Yeah. So back to the Nintendo Switch, because that's all we're really gonna be talking about. Let's be honest. So they had their announcement, and they had the parental controls. So they had Bowser being a great father to his one son, except for all of the other Koopa kids who they were just like, oh fuck him. I guess Mario killed him. But he's like being a great father. He's playing video games with his son. And then, he's kidnapping the princess and being a corporate tycoon in a white pinstripe suit.
What?
Yeah. So, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario's hopping around, like, New York and shit. And you're like, oh, man, those are, like, real people. I thought Mario was a real person. And
Oh
then you
yeah,
see Princess
that's like
Peach.
most of the comments.
Yeah, and it's like, you see Princess Peach, and you're like, I guess Princess Peach isn't a real person either. And then you see Bowser, and Bowser is just in this white, like, full-on white suit, top hat, purple, like, lining around, and he just had, like, he looks like a fucking pimp.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think they're taking this into Christopher Nolan's Super Mario Brothers.
But, yeah, so Bowser was doing that, so that was pretty cool. And then, so that was the one thing I really liked, was just like, hey, Bowser, he could be a great father. Also, he's a fucking pimp.
Slapping the bitches and jocking the hoes.
Yeah, man. And then, Nintendo announced they were doing paid online services, which, fuck Nintendo.
Yeah, absolutely not gonna be. Also, who the fuck has ever bought a Nintendo console for the online play? I
No
have
one.
What are
literally.
they offering? Is it like Call of Duty kind of online?
It's
PvP?
where they host the servers. So it's basically gonna be exactly like how the PS4 and Xbox
But-
One work.
But those numbers have been broken down so many times to where it just doesn't make sense and doesn't cost that much to keep the servers maintained. Not to mention, they've afforded to do it for this long. You really think we believe that, Nintendo? Come on.
Yeah. Well, like, one of the things I was reading about was the speculation of why Nintendo was doing this. And for whatever reason, or, no, not for whatever reason, from what I read was that in doing so, Nintendo is shifting the cost of having online games from the developers onto the users. So now developers like, Ubisoft or, whoever will actually be more willing to make games for that console because then they don't have to pay the servers they have to maintain. Nintendo will, pay for the servers for those games that have, but then Nintendo fronts that cost onto us. So I think this is more of a reach for publishers to actually publish games for the console.
Hold on. So this is Reaganomics in video games.
Maybe.
I don't know if I follow that one.
So they're giving tax breaks to the big guys. So hopefully the savings will then trickle down to us, the users. It's not the exact same, but it's glibly comparable.
Yeah, I guess so. But and basically it just ends up being, I think Nintendo is really trying to get third parties on the ball with
if they do,
Switch.
I hope they follow. If they're gonna follow anyone's queue on this online service, I hope they follow PlayStation Plus, and you just get so many goddamn free games.
So you will be happily unsurprised. So they're doing something like that where every month you get.
Oh yes, that's right. Okay, I did hear about this. You get a classic.
You get to rent a classic NES or NES title for a month.
Oh, how exciting!
Versus,
owning it.
Well, I will say you do only get it as long as you have your PlayStation Plus subscription, but you do get like 2 generally really good games a month. Yeah. I have never looked at a PS Plus and been like, damn, that sucks. No, it's been some awesome games. Rocket League has been on it before. Grim Fandango Remastered. Towerfall, I think, has been. Just all kinds of, a lot of really solid stuff has been on there. I've never been disappointed by a PlayStation Plus anytime I've looked at them.
That concept could be really cool if they introduce them in hey, here's a month of Strider. If you really want to play that game for a month.
Well, no, you get a pick apparently, is from what I've heard, but you only get to rent it for that month. So when your subscription re-ups, you get to pick a game that you can play for a month that's a classic.
Also, keep in mind these are all games that you could get on your phone in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just find online. Or if you're like me, still have the NES, just play them on the NES.
Exactly.
But if you did it where they introduced it for a month and it's hey, it's now on sale. This thing that was only around for a month, you can buy it in a pack of other similar games too.
Oh, sure. I mean, they do kind of have that, but the problem is Nintendo is horrifically bad at pricing their old games.
Yeah.
They still charge oh, you want Mario 2? $15, please.
I feel 2.
Exactly.
For games that are that old, it needs to be $5. I think $5 is a good price for really old games.
5 is still a little expensive. Most NES games these days go for $1 or $2, unless you have something particularly rare.
You could do maybe 2 for $5. That might work.
Yes, 2 for $5. From what I see from people generally, thrifting, that kind of thing, $2 to $3 for an NES game is considered standard.
Look,
price.
man, if I don't, spend $5 to buy hockey for the NES, how will the NHL survive?
So, I wish I had the answers, but I just don't.
They're gonna go bankrupt. Fucking Bobby Orr's just not pulling his weight anymore.
I know they're
You
gonna
know,
follow
being
highline
that
and just fail.
being that Bobby Orr, I think has been dead for a number of years now.
Yeah, what I just say, he's not pulling his weight anymore.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't even afford the health insurance to keep living. Come on.
Yeah. Like the NHL just didn't want to pay him, and that was their first mistake. They
Oh
didn't
no, he
pay
is
for him
Bobby
to be
Orr
immortal.
is Bobby Orr is in fact still alive. He's only about 70 years old.
Nice.
My dad would be absolutely furious that I didn't know that off the top of my head, but that's okay.
Well, now we've pissed off the first demographic of this podcast, which is Jack's dad.
And presumably just Bruins fans in general.
Yeah.
I like to think that I only make friends with Black Hawk hockey fans. There's no very specific standards I set.
You know, I hate you, Will.
Yeah, so there's not much about the Switch other than those things we've just said, and it's kind of relatively old news. But then Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct about the Fire Emblem games. So they're making a Fire Emblem phone game, which doesn't look terrible, and I think it's going to be free to play.
That's really interesting.
Yep.
It's better than the
You-
Mario
So-
weird app thing they did.
Yeah.
Like $10 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it was basically Mario Maker.
Yeah, it was
just
like,
you had to pay
well, it
for
wasn't
it.
even Mario Maker. It was
No,
like
no, no,
18
no, no, no.
stages.
I was about to say it's not even that good. It was like a runner game, but just Mario.
Mm.
Yeah. And
So
you only got,
essentially-
like, 3 stages for free, and then you had to pay 10 to get
Yeah.
the last 15.
And it was essentially just your standard new Mario game, except you don't have to hold right.
Yep.
So yeah, people were pretty much generally pissed and don't like that. And that game has like 2.5 stars maybe on the App Store.
Yeah. It's still like number 10 or something crazy like that on the App Store. It's not like a terrible game. It's the fact that it's $10 for 18 levels, which for a lot of people isn't enough.
No, it should be like Candy Crush, where it's like that'd be a game one might pay for because there's like 400 levels and they keep adding them.
Yeah. I think they should have just... I think the thing was they didn't want to make it fully free to play because they didn't know how to approach something like that, and they didn't want to come off as being greedy.
Whoa, hold the phone. Are you telling me that Nintendo doesn't understand modern monetization?
Yes.
Hold the That is such shocking news to me. It's not like we just spent 5 minutes talking about how they don't know how to price either online or their older games.
Yeah, it's a mystery to all. But what was it? So the Fire Emblem mobile game, I think that's being developed by it's kind of one of those very standard Japanese phone games where you throw fire emblems into the fountain and then the fountain does like a random summon from a Fire Emblem character. It's one of those. But it's a full-on like Fire Emblem game where you have the strategy. I mean, I'm gonna play it when I poop, so I don't care.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm also almost kind of imagining like a Pit People-esque thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like-
I think. Well, no, you can choose like who you attack and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not like exactly that, but like in that vein.
Yeah, I get what you're talking about. So what was it? So they announced that. They talked about Fire Emblem Warriors, which is their new Warriors game. Dynasty Warriors type
Ooh.
game.
What is that being? What is that coming out on?
For the Switch.
Okay.
So that's coming out for the Switch, and it's it's a standard
It's gonna be
fucking,
good.
Warriors game.
Yeah, if
it's
you're
good.
into that,
if you're
it's good.
into those types of games, it looks like it's gonna be good. If you like the Fire Emblem settings, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Hyrule Warriors was amazing. Coincidentally, just picked that up yesterday. And it's just so much
Yeah.
fun.
I
I
don't know what happened to that copy we bought.
yeah,
Frank.
that we bought. Yeah, I have no idea, and I mean, I'm like, you know what? Let's just get it again.
Yeah, might as
I
well.
got no problems with that.
Yeah.
Is it that good of a game that it's worth buying twice?
Well,
if you
we
like
split
those
the
styles
cost.
of games, like that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, if you like
For,
button mashing and killing literally hundreds of things, then oh my god, it's
Those
so
are great
much fun.
games.
I love them.
Yeah, if you kind of like almost monotonous, like mindlessness, fucking I just want to run in and kill a bunch of people because it looks cool. Like that those are perfect games. I love them.
They're
Yeah.
so entertaining. Like you just put music
You don't
on
have to
it.
think. Like that.
Like it's so funny because objectively they're generally terrible, in an almost objective sense, but it's almost like like the Expendables or some
It's
shit,
like junk food.
or like what's it called?
It's video game junk food.
Like Zoolander 2. I love
No.
that movie. But that was not a good movie.
Not,
It
not
was-
even Zoolander 2. The
hilarious.
Fast and the Furious movies. That's
Oh.
exactly what it's like.
Yeah. Or,
Just
or like Triple X.
Yeah, just ridiculous power fantasy fun that you could never directly explain what's quality about it, but it's just so fun.
Every character that who's the main character of this movie? It's Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, not
Every
even a
main
character
that
name.
Vin
I
Diesel
know.
plays.
The main character is Vin Diesel.
Yeah, he's another person who drives cars and kills people.
You've
I mean-
described almost every single movie Vin Diesel has ever been in.
And also every movie that what's his name? Jason Statham is ever.
Oh, it's true. But how can you not love Jason Statham never missing with throwing knives? That's great.
I preferred when he licked car batteries to stay alive.
Oh yeah, Crank.
I need to see that movie though. I've heard of it, and it looked.
Yeah, I'd never seen that either.
So
I just know that trailer where she just like, I need to stay alive. So then he just like hooked up a car battery to like his nipples or something. I don't know.
It was his tongue. It was
Something
his
like
tongue.
I don't know.
So the guys who direct those movies are both like really terrible and really awesome. They make like entirely junky movies like that, but they just do insane shit to get their shots. I have seen them being hung off cranes, being suspended over cliffs. I have seen them rollerblading with a camera attached to a car.
Oh yeah, I've seen those
That's
before.
awesome.
Those are it's pretty
so,
cool.
Like they're just so great for that kind of thing. They also did the second Ghost Rider movie, which is just ridiculous. Not good, but ridiculous.
Yeah.
But great, but ridiculous. But terrible.
But Fire Emblem Warriors, so that game was coming out. Then they're remaking Fire Emblem Gaiden, which they're giving some title to. But basically Gaiden was the first Fire Emblem game, or is like the first or second, where it was a more open world strategy, so they had RPG elements. And
Oh
things
sure,
that.
like the stuff they had in Sacred Stones, where you had like those. Yeah.
Yeah, so imagine
So,
like
like-
you combine like Final Fantasy. So you had a Final Fantasy-esque game, like Final Fantasy 1 and 2, where you
Right.
had that open world kind of like top-down view. But then whenever you go to fight somebody, you go into the Fire Emblem grid system.
Oh, that's cool.
Or almost like what is it? The Final Fantasy Tactics series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
I got you.
So you do that, and then so they're remaking that. So you actually have open world exploration now. Like you can run around and engage with the enemy like that. So that game is coming out for only the 3DS, which sucks. Fuck you, Nintendo. But this was the dumbest thing. They were like, also, Fire Emblem fans will be happy to know that the next Fire Emblem game, aside from this like remake, is coming out on the Nintendo Switch in 2018, and that's all they said. So like it's been 10 years, and they even said it. It's been 10 years since a mainstay Fire Emblem game came out on like a
No.
home console.
No way.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to fact check that number. Let's see.
It is 10 years. Yeah,
Really?
2008 was Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn.
Huh.
You can look that. 10 years.
Let's see.
On a side
Came out
note,
on the Wii.
Holy shit!
Yep.
How has it been 10 years?
10 fucking years, because they
How
just
has
make
it been
mobile
10?
games. They've only made mobile games for Fire Emblem. It's fucking weird. I don't know why. Because, like, strategy games, why would you not want to be sitting down and thinking instead of moving around with your 3DS?
I don't know. I'll actually be right back. I can just step away for a second.
Okay.
How has it been 10 years? Oh my god.
It's been 10 years, dude. Like, fucking, it's insane.
Man, that's nuts.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those series that I wish I had more of a head for. I've told you this personally a number of times, but I just cannot do strategy. Like, it's not like a lack of desire or I want to be bad. I am just bad at turn-based strategy.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, so, you know. Like, it's not for everyone, obviously.
Oh yeah. Same thing with rhythm games. I love a lot of rhythm games. I just physically cannot play them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you get a mindset for it. It's the same thing with, like, point and clicks, you know?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You need to have, like, a certain mind workout set.
Well, it takes crazy
Or you need to have drank enough paint to understand adventure games.
Yeah.
True. Some of those are weird. Like, the only thing that was actually kind of logical, like, I loved Fable and, what was it, the second one, I think, too. But, like, some of those quests were really awful. Like,
Yeah.
they were really vague and terrible.
Yeah.
Even Skyrim stuff was kind of random, too. Like,
Yeah,
Skyrim was so broken.
A lot of it was just kind of, like procedurally created stuff. Go to insert location and beat up insert human being,
Yeah, they had that. So that was the Fire Emblem stuff, and then so those were the main announcements they've made. But they actually have a fairly long list of games in development for the Nintendo Switch.
Well,
Which
that's good.
is
Yeah.
It's
How
good.
how's third party looking? I imagine it's probably
It looks pretty good.
that's surprising. Usually they're pretty bad about that.
Are they actually allowed, like, I don't know how they do this. If they're offering, like, online stuff, third party could be amazing. Like, just contacting through, like, Steam and even with, like, Binding of Isaac, kind of letting that into a main console.
Yeah.
Like, that's already a good intro into that,
I know
that kind of genre.
Edmund really had to fight to get that in. Get those games on a Nintendo console. Like, tooth and nail had to fight. I don't know how familiar you are, Will, with Binding of Isaac, but it's, in general, a pretty explicit game, I'd say.
Yeah,
It
I
hit
had
my face.
the first one. I had
Yeah,
like the first
okay.
like full version. I bought all of the mods to it.
Yeah, the original Binding of Isaac.
Also, the Nicalis is working on a bunch of games for the Nintendo Switch, like 1001 Spikes and a couple of others.
So,
Oh yeah, that was a good game.
like, Nicalis constantly surprises me. I did not know I loved them nearly as much as I do. I didn't know how many amazing games they've made. So they did the new Binding of Isaac, 1001 Spikes. They made Cave Story Plus. They made Tori Bash. And I think there's like one other one they made.
They have like a total of like 8 games or something they've made.
Oh, Tiny Barbarian.
Yeah.
They made, which is a really fun little platformer.
But yeah, so they have a lot. So there's going to be a Shin Megami Tensei game on the Switch. I'm like,
Are they gonna do another like Animal Crossing game?
I'd assume they will eventually.
They probably will. They haven't announced anything about it though. So they have a untitled Pokemon game, which is going to be more than likely Pokemon Stars, which will be
Pokemon Stars.
yeah. So or
'Cause
Pokemon
Sun and
Star,
Moon.
Pokemon Sun and Moon. It's more than likely going to be that.
That makes sense. Like the third,
And
like
they've
every time they
talked
do
about
like
it
Emerald and
before.
stuff.
Was it? So they have that, and that will be the first time ever that Nintendo has had a main title Pokemon game on a home console.
That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it could be interesting because everyone's so used to Pokemon just being able to walk around and play it whenever.
Well, the cool thing is with like the Switch, it's still one of those walk around and play it type games because of the tablet. But it'll be interesting nonetheless, that Nintendo's actually doing this and listening to people.
Sure. Yeah,
it's
they
coming
are
out first.
not very well known for that.
Yeah. There's going to be a BlazBlue game, unannounced BlazBlue game, Fire Emblem game that we've already talked about. Ukulele is going to be on the Switch eventually.
Which I am super hyped for.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. There's a bunch. There's like some Ubisoft games. Koei Tecmo's working on with them. Telltale is working on some games with them.
Those are always entertaining.
Yeah.
Telltale. I haven't been following them, but they've been doing a lot of good stuff from what I can tell.
Yeah, they do like The Walking Dead. They did Game
Yeah.
of Thrones. They did a bunch of other stuff, which was good.
Mm-hmm.
And Borderlands too, actually. I think the prequel.
Yeah, the Borderlands, the prequel or whatever it was called.
I
It was
thought
their
no,
story
no.
one.
There was it was called like Telltale Adventure thing. The pre-sequel was one of like the mainline games. That was a
Yeah,
shooter.
but they had like a Borderlands, the Tales of
Yes, they did.
whatever.
Yeah,
It was something
Tales
like
of Borderlands or something like that. Yeah.
It was
that.
interesting. It was kind of a fun plot.
Yeah, they have a Sonic game, like a mainstay Sonic game that's coming out.
Oh man, maybe we'll make
Oh
it.
no.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. There's like I looked this up a while ago. The two most popular Sonic games, not including like Sonic and Mario Olympics, outrank every single other of every like added together of Sonic games combined sales. Like,
Wow.
it's horrible. Like you could look at the rank of like how they sell, and it's like the first one like knocked it out, and then like
Right.
you go down to like I think it was like 4 or something, and it was like also great. And then from then on, it's just going until I think the last one had sales of like less than 1 million copies or something, just around 1 million.
That's really bad.
It was like I think even Sonic even Sonic, like the people who kind of create the games apologized.
I'm sure they did. They should. Somebody needs to be apologized
Yeah.
to. You know.
What is it? Disgaea 5 is coming out.
Ooh. Another
Yeah.
quality game that I can never play because I'm terrible at.
Yeah. What is it? That's actually a launch title for the Switch in Japan, and it's coming out Q2 2017 here.
Nice.
And then they're redoing that, so they have they have some good stuff. It mostly looks like some indie people, Ubisoft, Atlas, and Sega. And there's some 2K games here.
That could be a good
So-
lineup, to be honest. Like that's a
Activision
good.
is making a game. Oh, Skylanders, never mind.
Okay.
That's a great
Yeah.
spread. Like that's a massive people to
Hold on.
appeal to.
I think we've missed the most important game on this list.
Halo
Halfway.
Wars 2.
Namkai
Uh-huh.
is making a untitled Taiko Drum Master game.
What? Are they bringing back like the GameCube drum controller?
Yeah.
Those were terrible.
No, so the Taiko Drum Master was like this game that like came out and you had to buy just a controller that only worked for that game. I'm pretty sure you could hook it up to other things. But you had 2 sticks, and you had taiko drums, and you played taiko drums. Never had it. Always wanted it. You can actually find them in arcades. They're like a huge hit in arcades, because, you get a whole taiko, like, drumsticks and pretend you're playing taiko drums. But Bandai Namco is taking a risk and making Taiko Drum Master.
That could be horrible. I've seen people play like the old Intellivision games, in which the controller is nonsense. Like the games they don't explain at all, and they're all from like the 70s and 80s, and it's the most painful thing in the world.
Mm-hmm. Capcom's doing Ultra Street Fighter 2.
Yes, and they're actually adding new characters to that.
Yeah.
Well, not new characters, but like
characters
new to Street Fighter 2 characters.
Yeah.
It's Evil Ryu.
Yep,
and I can't.
No, it's
I
not
can't
Evil.
remember
It's Evil Kin. I'm pretty sure it's Evil Kin. I don't know.
Either way, I would love to play that game. I do love Street Fighter 2.
Wait, Nicalis made Redout?
Did they? No shit.
Huh.
Redout is, for those of you who don't know, is an amazing, it's an amazing F-Zero ripoff. Well, ripoff in the best way, in that they were like, alright, nobody's making F-Zero. Everybody loves F-Zero. Can we make F-Zero, Nintendo?
Nicalis
and they're like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Nicalis is publishing Redout for the thing. So 34 Big Things SRL was the developer, and they were the publisher for the PC edition. Nicalis is going to be the publisher for the Switch edition.
Okay.
So technically, no.
Still, that's a great lineup. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot.
Nintendo.
Everything there appeals to something, and isn't just like Sonic Olympics or some sort of like.
But let's be
gimmicky
real.
kind of like bowling game.
But it's ultimately going to fail because they don't have knack.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're totally right. Shit.
You might as well just cancel that pre-order.
They actually have a lot of Square Enix games. I Am Setsuna, Dragon Quest games.
Dragon Quest is
Something called Project Octopath Traveler.
What? Okay.
Yeah. And then Spelunker World.
Spelunker World.
I've heard of Spelunker, but I guess it's a new game. Like,
Oh no, you're
Spelunkers
thinking
are
of Spelunky.
Yeah, that's right.
What?
Very similar.
That would be awesome if it
What
was
is
like a
this?
sequel to Spelunky. That would be really dope.
Oh,
Because
this
that
is a
game
fun
is
game.
great. Yeah.
Is Square Enix publishing this old ass game? Like, what is it? Are they Alright, so I'm on the Wikipedia page for games, and it says Spelunker, Adventure, Tozai Games, Publisher, Square Enix. Alright, let's click on Spelunker World. Click on it. Spelunker, video game. Spelunker is a 1983 video game developed by, blah, 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 blah. And it's for the Atari 400 and Atari 800. Commodore
What?
64, NES, and it's just like, are they making this game like what is this?
That's perfect. Well, like, think about all the
Remakes.
the good movies that they've remade that failed because they weren't the original. If you take like an obscure game that no one knows or cares about and make it amazing and beautiful, that's easy writing right there. Already structure and perfect. You can't fail. Well, I mean, unless you write a bad game.
Yeah, in 2015, Square Enix released a free-to-play sequel titled Spelunker World for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita. In 2017, the title was announced for Nintendo Switch. I still don't know what Spelunker World is, but it is a sequel to the 1983 video game.
That could be exciting.
Shit, sorry. I'm now super curious about this game.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, their
Yeah, I'm
marketing
looking it up.
strategy of no marketing is genius.
Spelunker World.
Okay, I found a launch trailer for the PS4.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same game. This game looks like dog shit.
Yeah, it looks so. It looks like Spelunky, honestly.
Look,
Like if
man,
Spelunky
wait,
wasn't nearly as
this
good.
has. Hold on. This has the best picture I've ever seen.
Oh, this is already out on PS4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
But,
yes, this is the free-to-play thing you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
but they have pets you can get in this game apparently, and one of them is a cute little dog that rubs its butt against gold. And then they have a cat
Why
that's
you in the
like,
game?
its head is way too small for its body.
But that's the opposite of like every kind of weird, cute pet game.
Yeah, that's just fucking weird. But yeah, so there's plenty of developers so far. They have a good showing for big publishers. Like Ubisoft is making some. They're making a Just Dance game, so no one cares about that. They're making a Rayman game, and then they're making
Yes.
Steep.
Some Rayman games
for
aren't bad.
that.
Oh, the Rayman games I've been making lately have been excellent. Rayman Legends is really, really, really good. One of my absolute favorite platformers that have come out recently, 2D platformers. The art is absolutely gorgeous. It's really funny, and just a lot of fun. I have a soft spot for Rayman because like one of the first PC games I ever got was Rayman 2 on computer. And man, I'm trying to think. I've just got one of my first Game Boy Color games was also Rayman.
Yeah, my only experience is Rayman, I think Pirate Escape.
Yeah, The Great Escape. That's Rayman 2. Absolutely phenomenal.
That was a good game. I like that
Really
one.
good, yeah, really good 3D platformer, really good sense of humor, and just the design of everything looks amazing. That's one of Ubisoft's best properties.
Mhm.
I don't know, Jack. They have Steep, an open world extreme sports video game where you're a skier.
You know,
That is better. Like you can't deny that.
I
The
think
game includes skiing, wingsuit flying, snowboarding, and paragliding.
Holy
I think
crud! It
somebody
just got
just-
better.
needs to take open world games away from
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. They're not very good at them.
Yeah, they kind of make milquetoast fucking open world games,
Mhm.
but like this game's coming out on the Switch and it already exists, so like who knows?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I must head out.
All right.
Well,
Well, that's gonna do it for this week. Sorry
Yeah.
for the shorter one, but everyone's busy. We won't see you next week because Jack is being a little bitch and can't talk.
yeah.
Having my tonsils removed? What a bitch, am I
Yeah,
right,
what
guys?
a fucking
You know
asshole.
what? Rub
So-
some dirt, Jack.
Yeah. So,
Rub some dirt in the open, gaping holes where my tonsils used to be.
So make sure
Sounds-
you subscribe. So for every subscriber we get, we'll rub 1 grain of dirt into Jack's tonsils.
Yay!
Instead of do it for the vine, it's gonna be do it for the podcast.
yeah.
All
Or
right.
ceiling
Well,
tons.
thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you sometime in
Couple of
the next couple of, I guess, not next week, but the week after.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great.
All right. Bye.
Sweet.
See you.